we go. Everybody good with recording?
I am.
All right. So I'll start that over. Welcome to the town of Neverwinter. Despite the name, on this night of your adventure begins. It is cold and starting to snow. You have all received word from your close friend and ally, Gundren Rockseeker. He has a quest, and only the four of you he trusts with it. One that doesn't pay much, but still 10 gold each. The meeting points, where else? The local tavern. Just after the sun has set, your party arrives at the tavern, the Cloak and Stagger. This is where the adventure begins. The tavern is old and lit by candles and torches. There is a raging fire in the stone fireplace. The walls are wood and smell of meat and burning everywhere. Nothing like good warmth in the air as you walk in. The place is full of humans, elves, dwarves, and some monsters. On the wall, there's a large sign that reads, "All are welcome to drink your fill, but there'll be no fighting in here. You have been warned." As soon as you walk in, the first thing you hear is, let's see.
4 pints of ale. My friends will arrive soon, and they shall be greeted with mugs full of grog.
Who else but Gundren Rockseeker? You have not seen him in over a fortnight. He has been a steadfast dwarf who has always had your backs no matter what the situation. Whether it be during the war or when you lost your wealth or when you were kicked out of your house, he has always had your back, a true ally and friend. As he jumps on the table due to his short stature, he yells,
"Welcome, my friends. I have missed thee. Grab some ale. Let's chat about the adventure to come."
A table to the far left corner of the tavern is open, and rather close to the fire. As you follow him, there is a strange cloaked person at the table having a drink. Yet Gundren does not seem to introduce you, but he sits as if he knows a person. Gundren can be a little scatterbrained. You sit and enjoy some ale. A lovely lady comes by to check that you and everyone is happy with your beverage. Yet as time passes, no talks of the coming adventure happens. Nothing arises. This is strange. It's very unusual for Gundren not to be very direct and to the point. But yet he beats around the bush as you sip on your ale. He has yet to say anything about the man in the cloak still. He has a large mug of beer and is sitting there rather quietly, paying attention to another table across the room quite vividly. Gundren is a great judge of character, so he must be okay, right? You think to yourselves. Everybody roll me a d20. Let's see if you perceive anything. What everybody roll?
15. Are we calling for perception or just a flat d20 roll?
Perception, to be specific.
Dirty 20.
Nice.
I got a 15.
I got a 10.
Okay.
I have 18.
Okay. So as you sit there, none of y'all have any bad suspicions or ill will. If anything, you feel like the man is of good nature. He continues to sit and drink his beverage and keeps an eye out. But yet you can continue to think to yourselves, Gundren knows these men. He must be well. He would not be at the same table otherwise. Well, at this point, Gundren goes to the bar for another beer, or more precisely, to attempt at courting the head barmaiden, a larger woman of stature. He's always been that kind of dwarf. Across the room...
Climb mountains.
I'm not saying nothing.
Across the room, you hear a large bugbear yell.
"This ale is too warm. How do you expect me to drink this filth, you wench?"
A large, fat bugbear throws the mug of ale on the maiden. She falls back on the floor and exhales a grunt from the pain. Before you can react, the stout man sitting next to you dashes over to the woman, asking if she's okay, standing in between her and the creature. She responds, "I'm wet and pissed, but okay." Without a word, he sweeps the leg of the creature, driving his shoulder to the floor, knocking his breath out of the large bugbear, saying it's time for you to apologize. Bugbears are prideful and normally would fight over this. But as soon as the bugbear hits the floor, a large woman behind the bar slaps the sign and says, "There will be no fighting now." She said, "Now apologize or get out," she yells at the bugbear. The bugbear, being full of pride, struts off. Sildar is the man's name. He offers to pay for the woman's grog, yet she refuses. He returns to the table as nothing happened, back to his beverage, back in cloak. At that moment, he introduces himself as Sildar Hallwinter. He has a gentle smile, one that makes you pause and think that he's a man of good character for a moment. A man of 50 years or so. His arms are strong of battle, his smile is sincere. Although cloaked, you can see when he moved how strong his back was. Broad shoulders, the body of a knight. Fierce and strong, yet always on edge. He says, "I am of the Knights of the Lord's Alliance, and I could just not accept his behavior. Beast or not, they know better. I apologize for not introducing myself, but I was told there would be one more. I have seen her, but she has not made herself known, and I did not want to bother. I've been hired to be a bodyguard for Gundren, and we've been working together for some time now."
So when Sildar mentions having expected a fourth, the woman who's been refilling your drinks this evening and just kind of making baleful glances at Gundren every now and again, she kind of gets a gleam in her eye, and she just stomps her foot on the floor and flings off her apron, one hand on her hip, and she says, "I am your fourth."
So, I think this is a great time for y'all to introduce yourself to Sildar. Who are you, and who are your character, and why are you here? How do you know Gundren?
I'm going to go first, my lady. I am Richter. I know Gundren because we actually grew up together. What was it called again?
Which one?
That's the name of my town. Oh, Thunder Tree. I hail from Thunder Tree, which isn't too far from here, so me and Gundren actually grew up together and played as children. And to this day, he has long been a standing best friend of mine. So we go way back.
Excellent, excellent, he says. He said, "You, sir, you look to be a noble. Tell me about who you are. Are you noble by chance?"
No, far from it. I'm a folk hero.
Ah, that would explain your stature. You must be of great importance.
I've worked hard in my life, but now I'm here and looking for adventure with a good old friend.
Excellent. And you said your name was Richter?
Richter.
Richter. Good name. Good man. Gundren would choose no one else other than a good man. Who else do we have here?
I guess I can go. Sorry. My name is Kithri, and I know him because I was attacked by the Red Brands, and he helped me escape because I was backstabbed and they tried to kill me, so he helped me, and we go way back.
That makes perfect sense. The Red Brands are a horrible bunch. They will steal children and beat women. Oh, Gundren has had his run-ins with them before, to say the least. That is why I'm here. I must do my best. I will do everything in my power to protect him. He is of noble descent, despite him over there with that woman. We will not talk about that. But you have obviously seen his worth. I look forward to working with you. You have my sword.
Are we ready for this? I'm Redrick Erwin Neckley of the Burning Bridge family. You can call me Red Neckley. I know Gundren from serving our family. Good man.
Well, that was a hell of a name, but Damn good to meet you. You have a air of importance. You of course must be a noble. Am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong, of course. I am from Burning Bridge. Noble family.
Oh, Burning Bridge. They suffered a quite severe loss a few years ago, yes?
Yes, we did, and I'm on a quest to try and help rebuild our legacy.
Well, if what Gundren has told me about you is accurate, I will do my best to help you as well. You are deserving.
Wonderful.
And then my lady. What is your name?
She says, my name is Sindariel. Last name, let's go with Lamentari. If I decide that I like you, I'm okay with you calling me Sin. But Cindy is right out. I used to be employed as a clerk of the court when I first arrived in Neverwinter, until I had the good chance of meeting our dear friend Gundren, for whom I attempted to perform some favors that now have me, let's just say, looking to leave town for a while and find employment elsewhere.
Well, your sketchy past is none of my business, but if you're a friend of Gundren, you're a friend of mine. I will do my best to accommodate a young lady such as yourself. And look at that. Gundren's finally lost his chance with the maiden again. Of course. At this moment, Gundren comes back and sits over after y'all have introduced yourselves. And he says something very interesting. There we go.
My brothers and I have found something big. But I cannot tell you here. All I need to tell you right now is I need you to deliver a wagon load of supplies to Barthen's Provisions, a trading post in Phandelver. It's a rough and tumble town, not too far away from here, more of a settlement. A few days travel southeast of the city. Can you handle this, my friends?
Sounds simple enough.
Aye.
Do be warned. The settlement is not a great place. There are many ruffians. As one of you knows very well, the Red Brands are there, and they are quite a menace. So, I warn thee, the roads are perilous, and the tough task will be not impossible, but I need you to honor your commitment to me. Can you do this?
Yes.
I accept, friend.
If you agree to help smooth over that issue we had, then I see no reason to refuse.
A fair warning, though. If Glassstaff is there, I will kill him.
Excellent. No problem there on that Glassstaff. I do not know who he is or what he is, but I do not trust him. However, you will see that I have supplied you with equipment in your bags, ready for your adventure. However, the wagon will need to be readied. I will leave that to y'all. Please handle that forthwith and follow right away. We have urgent business, so Sildar and myself will leave rather abruptly. First thing in the morning, we head out for Phandelver.
You find it strange that he really didn't say what was going on, but that's what it is. For the rest of the night, y'all can hang out, enjoy your beverages, and in the morning, assemble your wagon load and head on towards the town. Now, would you like to have another beverage?
So
If I could possibly get one with a clean mug.
she says, I'm afraid we're in the wrong sort of tavern for that, but I'll see what I can do.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Since she is still on the clock for the evening, Sindaro goes and personally inspects glasses. You see her. It looks like she's using. She finds one, and it looks like she uses a spell or some sort. She does some sort of arcane gesture, and looks like the glass is absolutely sparkling by the time she's done with it.
Show
And
off.
She, with a kind of over-the-top flourish, she presents it to you, and she says, "Will this meet your approval, Sir Rhetoric?" Oh, good. I'm so glad. So she sets it down and allows you to inspect the. Are you having wine or what are you having exactly?
I'm having mead.
Mead. Okay, she allows you to inspect the bottle and whatnot before she corks it and pours one out for you.
Wonderful. It's delightful, but we need to be clean.
It does help.
Helps keep us from getting sick.
So y'all can play out the rest of the night, but in general, we start the y'all just travels tomorrow. I assume y'all have a few other beverages and call it a night, or would I be wrong?
That's fine by me.
Me too.
Excellent. So early the next morning, you wake up. You have found that Gundren and Sildar have already taken off to Phandelver. They left you a note that said, you know, we look forward to seeing you at Barthen's Provisions, and we were in a hurry and basically took off. You'll spend the day to get the wagon ready. It's fairly substantial in its size and everything else that you need to take. But other than that, the next morning, you're pretty much able to go. It took about a day to get all your stuff in order. So as you head out, who would like to drive the carriage? You can, the wagon is pulled by 2 oxen, and you can have 2 people ride. If you want, one has to drive, obviously, but one can ride. What kind of, what are you going to do? This is a road that you're going to go on, and how do y'all plan to travel?
So does the cart move at the same speed at which people walk? Is it
No,
faster? Is it
it's half.
slower?
It's about half. The oxen are strong, but the wagon is full. It'll take a few days to get there. So.
Can anyone fit in it?
On top of it, you mean?
Like inside?
No, the wagon's stuffed full.
So
It's
is it like the old West Wells Fargo wagon where it's got like 2 seats up on the running
That's
board?
what I was
Like,
imagining too.
yes,
Yeah.
that's exactly it. It's got the big wooden wheels and exactly 2 seats in the front that are on leaf springs, basically, and the rest of it's full. And you got 2 oxen, and so you really can't fit anybody in it. There's no room, and it slows down the oxen.
that's fair.
Well, I'm a nobleman, so I will choose to let the ladies walk. Or ride, that is.
I'm a folk hero. I'll
I
take the
can't
leader.
stand to be behind those dirty beasts.
So is anyone actually well versed in handling animals?
These are
I would
standard trained oxen. You won't need any kind of ability to handle them. A child can guide the carriage.
From what I've seen of everyone so far, I think I feel probably the most comfortable of Richter's doing that. Because he doesn't seem to disdain. This is out of character, but he doesn't seem to disdain.
Oh, no, not at all. I'm from a rough village, so hard work is basically my everyday life. And I have +3 animal handling, side note.
Well, like I said, it's just so y'all know, it's not needed, necessary. These are normal oxen that pull carriages all the time, so they're trained well. So who's gonna take the driver's seat?
I will. I can take it.
I feel like as a halfling, I shouldn't be driving because I wouldn't be able to reach the reins that well.
So Richter's driving.
Long enough.
I got little arms.
So is anybody?
Question, can I ride on top of the wagon?
Yes.
I
As a
don't
halfling,
ride
you
on top.
as a halfling, you will weigh a very small amount. It won't slow down the oxen enough to make a difference.
I think I was standing on top so I can look out.
More lookout.
And it's Kithri, right?
Kithri, ginger bottom.
I love the ginger bottom, but I got to make sure I can say the first part.
What does everyone's characters look like anyway? Like I see that Richter and I both had artwork, but
Yes.
I actually need to pull that up now.
I did try to make it my profile for the server, but it looks like you need nitro for that, and I don't have a
I
nitro.
mean it looks similar except that the jacket is blue instead of with a red scarf.
Yes.
Yeah, so it looks similar anyway.
I try to keep
Did you say you already put it in the chat?
Yes, I put it in the chat. Yeah.
Oh, there it is. Cool. And then your waitress. Cool.
And then yep. And then the rest is yep. That's the waitress.
So rednecky, redneck,
Oh, sorry.
Redneckly.
Got it. What does your guy look like?
He's fairly tall, heavy set, very well dressed. You can tell he's of nobility.
Nice.
Perfectly manicured beard. You know, the hair is perfect. Just, you know, he's prim and proper. You know, so.
Excellent.
Sorry.
All right. Get three. What do you imagine your character be like?
Very short and kind of feisty and sneaky. I'm going to look at the picture. And with lots and lots of just red hair. And just has a very mischievous look about her.
Cool. Love it.
You just described my wife without red hair.
Yeah, pretty much. And then Sidriel, we have an image of you, but how would you describe yourself to others?
So, Cinderella's 5'8". She's thin, not necessarily waifishly so, but she's got bright blue eyes with kind of like gold flecks in them, which is kind of interesting. She's got very white freckles, you know, very long ears as is common to elves, and like the small one, she also has an abundance of red hair that ranges from coppery in the highlights to like a kind of like a darker, almost wine color in places. And it looks like her clothes were at one point a very fine make, similar to our lordly friend, but they've definitely been worn for a lot longer than their probable thread life, and you suspect she might have been using magic to keep them patched up. So yeah, she looks like she's ready for a change of pace in her life at this point.
Excellent.
But you do have the sense that she's awfully young for an elf.
Okay,
Even
good.
though she's probably at least about as old as any of you guys.
So we have Richter that's taking the reins and driving the cart. Kitri that is riding along on the top, in the back, on top of the provisions. Where shall the other two hang out? Ride defensive positions, or y'all just walking alongside? What are y'all thinking?
So I would prefer to be kind of off to the side when there's room enough for it.
The back rear or back right?
Since
From driving
she's
position.
Not a swordswoman, since she's not necessarily a swordswoman, she would take the left-hand side, assuming that our knight is right-handed.
Richter, are you left or right-handed?
Left.
Well, he's up front. I meant Roderick.
Redrick's left-handed.
Oh, okay. Then I can take the right-hand side then, if you prefer.
Okay.
Have your sword arm on the outside.
So Ridrick, you took Sidriel.
Cindario.
It's gonna take me a.
Just call me Sin. It's fine.
Sorry, Sindario. So Sin, where did you decide that you'll be?
I'll be on the right-hand side.
All right.
She does have a short sword on her, but she doesn't seem to pay it any great heed.
Gotcha. Rednecky?
I was walking because I didn't want to get stuck behind the beast.
So when they pull the cart, do you want to be on the left side? Do you want to be on the right with Sin? Do you want to be in the driver's seat? Where are you going to be?
I'll probably be on the other side of Sin, or, you know, from the other side of the cart. so that we have good coverage.
Okay. No, that makes sense. So Red's got the left side of the cart. Sin's got the right. We got Richter in the driver's seat, and Keith 3, Red,
Small bean.
yeah, is riding along. So you spend the last few days following the high road south from Neverwinter, and you just recently veered east along the Tri-Board Trail. You've encountered no trouble so far, but the territory can be dangerous. Bandits and outlaws have been known to lurk here along the trail. Gundren's warning reigns evermore. So as y'all go along, you've been on the Tri-Board Trail for about a half a day. As you come around a bend, you spot 2 dead horses sprawled about 50 feet ahead of you, blocking the path. Each has several black feathered arrows sticking out of it. The woods press close to the trail here, with a steep embankment and dense thickets on either side. You have to bring your character to a stop to move the animals. What do y'all want to do? If you want to move the animals.
So, first thing I'm doing is casting Mage Armor if I hadn't already done so.
Okay. So, Cindariel, sorry, cast a spell that, if I'm not mistaken, detects magic in general.
That was something that I did while we were loading the wagon, just to get a sense if there was any like magical or dangerous cargo on board that I felt like we should know about. So she would have cast detect magic back when we were still, probably setting out from Neverwinter. It took her about 10 minutes to cast, but it lasts as long as she concentrates. So she would have just given it a once over to see if there was any obvious magical auras coming off it, just to be informed helps to be prepared, I guess you could say.
So, there was nothing. Everything seems copacetic as far as she can pick up and detect. Everything is fine.
Nice. Well, I've got a bad feeling about it, so I'll go ahead and prepare my great axe for action.
Okay. So, y'all are probably about 60, 70 feet away from where the dead horses are. You're stopped in the middle of the road. You got steep embankments on either side. But as far as y'all can tell so far, you haven't picked up anything. What do you want to do?
Well, we have to move the carcasses. They're in the way.
Yep. If someone who's sturdier wants to do that, I can hold the reins on the
I
oxen.
can investigate.
Okay.
Yeah, if you want to do that, Sin will go up and she'll hold the reins on the oxen, but she'll also keep her hands on her spell component pouch just in case.
I'll hop down from the driver's seat. I will pull out my great sword in preparation.
Okay, just in case.
Towards the carcasses for investigation.
Okay. Anybody gonna go check out the carcasses with Richter?
I'll walk with him and have my great axe ready, so that in case it's a trap.
Okay. So,
I was gonna say, and I'll have my crossbow ready as well, or my
Cool.
my bow, and looking out around just to see if I see anything that could have caused the death of the horses.
All right. You want to go check out the body, and so you're going and checking out the body of the horses. Roll me a perception check on. Investigation.
Is that a D20?
Yes.
5. Oh wait, is that perception?
It can be perception, yeah.
Would it be investigation?
Let's see. It'd be perception.
Okay, so then I rolled an 8.
Okay. So you see that these horses have the, black feathered arrows sticking out of them. You see that the satchel has been looted, that there is a nearby leather case that's empty that looks like maybe it was for like map holding. And that's all you really see. Everybody give me a D20 roll so I can see initiative.
Oh, no.
You said initiative?
Yes.
Yeah,
So everybody roll a D20.
20 plus your dexterity modifier.
Okay.
Oh, modifier.
Yeah, specifically the dexterity one. So Richter, yours is plus 3.
13.
So I'm 11.
I got
I rolled a
9.
16 with a -1 for dexterity, so 15.
All right. Hold on one second. So I'm not gonna do name. Red Neckley, you said you rolled a 15, right?
Yes. Yes.
Kirti? Kirti?
Get 3.
Kithri.
Get 3.
I rolled 11.
11. Gotcha. And then Richter.
13 for me.
Yep. Gotcha. And then Sin rolled a 9, correct?
Correct.
All right. Let's see. Well, as you bend down and you start inspecting this more and more, Richter, you notice and alert the group that there's someone here, that there's an ambush happening. At that moment, the goblins jump out at you. You have 4 goblins. There are 2 on your left flank on the eastern side and 2 on the western side, or north and south, technically. All right. So the first goblin arms himself at Richter and fires a crossbow, attacking you. Does a 2 hit your armor class? A 2 better not hit your armor class.
Oh, 2 is my armor class?
No, but 2 better not.
Oh, 2 better not. Do I roll?
No. The goblin.
It should be it might be in a shield-shaped symbol on your character.
What is your armor class, Richter?
14?
Yeah, so does a 2 beat that?
No, it does not.
Okay, so you are paying attention and are aware. As the goblin readies its arrow and fires at you, you not only dodge, but you step back, readying your weapon, and you're in a fighting position as the arrow flies past you about 5 feet away because it was a horrible shot.
Stormtrooper goblin.
Did you say Stormtrooper Goblin?
Yeah.
That's awesome. Let's see. I got the names are hard, so I'm gonna stick with Red. Red.
Which red?
Red Necky. Red Neckley. What, how am I saying it wrong? There's only one red, right?
You're not. It's Red Neckley.
Good, it is Red Neckley.
Like as in redneck.
Yes, exactly.
That's why I laughed when he first introduced
Right.
himself.
He did a great job with that. So does 7 hit your armor class? Red Neckley. Good.
No, it was 17.
So a goblin approaches you and rushes you with a scimitar. It cleaves it out and swings at you. As it does, you step back with it totally missing you. Goblins are only about 3 or 4 feet tall. They're very short and they're only about 50, 60 pounds, maybe 80 pounds on the heavy side. And it's totally missing you. No issues. All right. Kitri,
Yes.
you have a goblin that rushes you. It's about the same stature that you are. It pulls out a scimitar and it stabs you through. Because a 20 hits you, does it not, on your armor class?
Yes.
Yeah.
Did it jump on top of the cart or something?
Yeah, so it rushes up to you, jumps on top of the cart, and stabs the blade through your spleen.
My spleen.
It does 4 damage.
Oh, God.
You are impaled on the cart at the moment.
I've been in
The last goblin arms its weapon and shoots at Sindril and totally misses. Shoots it just over in left field. It was so excited that, oh my god, I get to fight somebody. It just totally missed. And the goblin goes, into protest. All right, Rednecky, it's your turn. I want you to fight back.
Well, obviously, I'm going to slash him with the great axe.
Yes, you're within range. He's right there at your feet. What you got?
Which number am I looking at?
Okay, so I want you to roll a d20, right?
Yep.
What's that number first off?
15.
Okay. And you are proficient with all armored shields and simple weapons. Michael, would that be a simple weapon? Oh no, it's right here. It's in the middle of your stuff. You get a +5 for your attack bonus on your great axe. It's already all factored in. So would you roll?
He's a fighter, so he's proficient in martial weapons too.
Would you roll, Ben?
I rolled a 15.
Okay, so that's a 20. So
Yeah.
yes, you hit the goblin. Now I need you to roll me for damage. So for you, it's a
Okay, so
roll your
1d12.
yep, roll your d12 and then add 3 to it.
Oh no, it's a 4. So that'd be a 7.
Okay, so tell me what happens. This goblin's right there, just swung at you. What are you gonna do? Tell me about it.
I'm trying to cleave him in half. The
Cool.
great axe is heavy. It's, just swinging.
Are you left or right-handed?
Slice him in half. I'm left-handed.
All right, so you got the axe.
So it's a nice, beautiful left-handed downward swing.
You come down and you
Cross path.
perfect, and you cleave the goblin in half. Congratulations, you skewered the goblin. He is dead.
Nice.
All right, so he's down. Anything else you want to do? You just yeah.
I'm a little aggravated about my clothes. Probably got blood splatter on me.
All right,
I'm a nobleman. I'm quite prissy about my clothes.
I'm gonna I want to award you an inspiration point for that. So next time you get to roll with advantage whenever you so choose. All right. So in your inspiration thing, add 1. Okay. Richter,
Inspiration.
Sir.
it's your turn. You're next to the horses, man. Dude just shot an arrow at you. What are you gonna do?
Is he on ground level or was he above me?
He's above you, about 30 feet away. But let's.
I have 50 feet of travel distance, don't I?
You got 30 feet,
30 feet of speed.
but it's not a difficult terrain. You can run up it.
Then I do so. I run up it and I try to get there with one good leap. So I want to come down my great sword and split him right down the middle.
Okay, awesome. Roll it for me. Roll your d20.
Come on.
What is that with my strength?
Make sure to add in your plus. You know what? That's gonna be your dexterity. You ran up and jumped and you slid down through the guy, or trying to. I'm giving you dexterity on that one. So add your plus 3.
To 19.
Cool. So roll me your damage and let's see what happens.
2d6.
And then don't forget to your plus 2 for slashing.
Yeah. Two. 7 plus 2, 9.
You come down and you cleave this son of a bitch in half. And it's as if it falls apart slowly as the intestines and everything rip apart.
My
You
favorite.
killed the goblin with the bow. All right. So, Kitri, you're on the cart. Your spleen has been impaled. That thing. I'll get him. It's going to take 3 or 4 sessions. I'm sorry. So,
Complicated if it's easier.
I will get your name right. I promise. So, It's got you laid down, knife in you, or a big scimitar actually. Fight back. What you gonna do?
I am going to take my, where is it? Where is it? Hang on, what does hand mean? How is a hand a weapon? What does that mean?
Throwing them hands. I don't know.
Hands.
What do you mean hands? I'm looking at your sheet now.
It says weapons, crossbow, hands.
Oh, it's a hand crossbow, so it's like a.
Oh.
Yeah, okay.
So I want to pull out that and just like shoot the goblin in the freaking forehead right in the middle.
Say that again.
Wait, how close was it?
I want to pull out my little hand crossbow and shoot the goblin right in the forehead.
All right. So as you're laying on the ground, you pull out your crossbow, point dead at his range. I'm gonna give you an advantage for that with the how close it is. So go ahead and roll the d20 for me.
Nope. Okay. I got an 8.
Okay. So with advantage, you can roll it again.
Okay.
Take the higher of the two.
18.
Okay. Now, with your bow, right? Will you do 1d3 pierce, 1d6, right? Plus 3 piercing.
Yes.
Okay. So go ahead and roll your d6.
6. Gotta find it.
The square boy. Or the
That's
cube.
square. Thank you.
All in cube.
Alright, I rolled it. Oh my god, I rolled a 1.
A 1. Okay, and then you add your plus 3, so that's a 4.
A natural 1 is always a miss. On a
Oh, you're right.
saving throw. But you have advantage. Did you have advantage for some reason?
Yeah.
Advantage 18.
Okay.
But it wasn't a d20 that she rolled; it was a damage, and so it doesn't matter if it's in that one. So
I'm sorry.
you're good.
I misunderstood.
Yep. So you get 4 damage because you have your plus 3 for piercing. Make sense? So you pull out your bow, you shove it in his face, and you pull the trigger. But since you raised up and were angry about it, he moved a little bit. The arrow still goes through it into his skull and out of it. He's not dead, but he is bleeding and bloody. He steps back away from you and falls off the cart on the right-handed side, which is between you and Sid.
Oh, at least I got him down.
It's raining goblins.
So,
And blood.
And blood.
Sidriel,
All right.
Sidario.
Sidar.
So this guy seems to have a splitting headache at the moment that can probably be doing nothing for his intelligence. She's going to cast Mind Sliver and hope that his cerebral impairments at the moment give it some sort of disadvantage on his DC 13 intelligence saving throw against her spell.
All right. Yeah, I don't have that one pulled up, but I'll roll with it.
Yeah,
So,
it's DC 13 intelligence save.
the goblin has great constitution and resist. It is not effective.
Now, it didn't have disadvantage from just suffering a head wound or anything?
Disadvantage didn't help.
Okay.
Just take a knife and stab, stab.
All right, so she
It
is...
will be very distracting.
You know what?
Well, this is unfortunate. And she'll go ahead and she'll draw her short sword just so she's got so she can make an attack of opportunity.
Excellent.
So I just throw it away from her.
Excellent. So the Goblin 4, the fourth one, on the farthest position, still has the bow and decides to shoot at Sindriel.
Sindario.
Hold on. I'm gonna fix this.
If you move your mouse on Discord over someone's...
I know, but I can't read. There's an issue. It's this is my reading. It is, and I'm bad at it, so I'm working on it. All right. Does a 5 hit your armor class?
It does not.
Well, guess what? It totally missed you again. Goes to shoot the arrow and just over in right field.
It ricochets off her mage armor.
Yes. Now, goblin number 3, the goblin that's closest to you, that just took the head damage, is laying there and, well, I guess technically stood up at this point, but is choosing to pull out its weapon and start to back off because it's got a massive arrow in its head. But then it steps forward and swings at you. Cindario.
Yes.
Yes! I changed the spelling to fit me so I can figure it out. Does 12 hit your armor class?
It does not.
Awesome. So it's a swing and a miss as the goblin is stumbling and hard of holding its pace and feet. It's just struggling to comprehend what's going on, but it swung at you. Now it's back to Red. Red Necky.
Yeah.
So it's your turn.
30 seconds.
Okay, pause. Everybody freeze.
Scooted away.
Don't worry, try again.
If they're gonna step away for just a second, I'm gonna go use the gym. That's.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna grab my food because I'm pretty sure it's cold. So I'll be right back as well.
Cool. Oh, my apologies. Ginger had to go out, and I had to do the same thing, but inside.
You're good.
It's okay. Honestly, I had to go as well. The main thing is that when Richard took a second to step away, I was like, whatever, I'll just do it now.
Yeah,
Hey, dude, you're always good. Like, fun.
Members needed refreshing.
Yeah. Well, family always comes first. Like, and guess what? Mine did too.
Forgot for a minute there. I was like, crap, it's almost 8 o'clock. This dinner was done 20 minutes ago.
Oh boy, I'm glad you went ahead and grabbed it now.
They don't want to talk to you, okay? Chill.
You don't know that.
How's it going so far?
Going good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm pretty well zoned out, which is good because it's been one of those days.
Yeah. Well, hopefully you are having a good time with it so far.
Oh, I am.
Yes,
That's
man.
good because, like I think I was telling you earlier, I was so freaking tight that, man, I was afraid I was going to tear something out. I was just aggravated. Everything's kind of gotten settled down and straightened out, but it's just been a day.
Well, like I said, hopefully this continues to make it better and stuff.
Yeah. Well, it's better now. I mean, we got through it. The heat's running as far as the temporary heat, and the parts should be here Thursday for the main heater.
Now,
You know,
while we have a break for a second, everybody tell me your name of your character again so I can hear it.
Rick. Sir.
I got Richter. I got that one. Red Necky is it's Neckley. Red Neckley.
can you see that?
Rhetoric.
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 Yes.
Rhetoric or Neckley?
Rhetoric. Okay. I'll have y'all all send me this in text so I can.
I can put it in chat.
Yes, please. That would be awesome. I would appreciate that so I can write it down properly on my documents and make sure I have it right.
Right now, like to pronounce it.
Just both, if you can, would be great.
I'll do that too.
I got yours, Richter.
Oh, okay.
I got Richter. There was a Teen Titans show, and there was a guy named Richter on it. It was awesome.
Love Teen Titans.
Oh, Teen Titans.
Right. Little Miss Watch What
We
Me,
don't
and it's great.
talk about Teen Titans. Go.
Oh, Sin Darrell.
I like the original. I wasn't a fan of Go, but that's just me personally.
Go was crap.
It was a travesty.
Go is crap.
We don't talk about Go.
Yeah, we don't talk about that. So, anyways,
Anybody seen the live action Teen
no,
Titans?
no, we're not getting off topic. We're going back in the. No, I'm muting Ben. We're going back into this. We got to finish this out. You still got 2 goblins to go. One just stabbed you in the stomach.
What rude. You need the stomach to hold all the beer.
Right. So
This is true.
we had a goblin that just shot an arrow, totally missed.
Spleen. I didn't get that.
Spleen, not yet.
Yeah, I'm the only one here who's gotten her, I think.
That's
Um,
right. Let's keep it right.
This one hurt my pride as a wizard.
So
That
Who
would
was-
hurt my pride is because I got blood on my fancy clothes.
the goblin took a shot, right? And then Ben,
Red.
Rhetoric. What is your action? So you're kind of in the thick of it, right? So you got 2 dead goblins on your western side. You got 2 goblins on your right hand side. And then north to you, there's the horses, and to the south, you have the wagon with everybody else that's kind of either injured or currently fighting.
Well, of course, I'm going for the nearest goblin with the great axe.
Okay, so that's going to be to your northeast.
Well, I have to protect the lesser.
Okay.
So I'm going for the goblin.
Okay, so you're going for the goblin to the northeast.
My great axe.
So it's about 15 feet up an embankment on your right-handed shoulder, right? So you take off up it. Give me a roll, a d20. Let's see if you can hit him.
I rolled a 9.
So-
great axe is a +5, so that gives me what? 14.
Yep. Good job.
Am I
So-
mathing today?
No, that's perfect. You nailed it. So you go up and you swing at the little goblin, but it's quick and nimble, and it sidesteps to the left, to your right hand shoulder, but it's to its left. It still has its bow in its hand as it had just fired, but it avoids your attack. That's okay. The goblin with the scimitar that's right next to Cindriel's. Cindariel's? Cindario. Right next to your feet. Tries to stab you again.
Oh, goodness.
Does 13 hit your armor class?
No, she sidesteps it.
Excellent. Simple sidestep, as a graceful elf would normally be, allowing the blade just to pass by. She's not phased by it in any which way whatsoever.
Beautiful.
Kit, since I can't pronounce the whole thing right now. You're still muted, by the way. There you go.
Yeah, I was trying to get to it.
So, what are you gonna do? Yep. So you're still on top of the wagon, right? The goblin is on the ground to the right of you, and it just stabbed at your friend. What do you want to do? And there's another one far away, and you can fall back. You can do anything. I mean, it's all up to you.
Well, if I'm stuck to the top of the wagon, I can't really move, right?
You were stabbed on top of the wagon, but when you're, just so you know, yeah, impaled. Good point. When you're injured, that does not deteriorate your ability to act.
Okay.
So I will describe actions, obviously, that say, okay, maybe they broke your leg. And if it's something that I believe would hinder your ability, maybe it would, and you might roll with a disadvantage. But in general, the idea is that you're still able to fight. It didn't break your leg, you just hurt it, but you can still move normally.
Okay. Can I do a stealth attack, or I have to do shadow first before I can do stealth, right?
Yeah, so
So one of your allies is engaged in combat with this one. Like if you wanted to attack the one that fell off the wagon next to me, since I'm in melee with it, since I've got my sword out, that's all that's needed for you to be able to sneak attack it if you successfully hit it.
Okay.
Yep.
So I want to do a sneak attack on him then.
that's great, perfect. Because it's think about it in real world. I'm busy fighting someone, right? I'm not gonna pay attention to someone off my right hand corner that is sneaking up on me, especially a light-footed halfling, you know. So awesome.
Okay. Yeah,
So kind of describe what you think you're gonna do.
I'm going to very carefully, because my sling is ruptured, hop off the wagon and sneak behind him, and then just come up and stab him right in his kidney.
Weren't you with the short bow, though?
Yes.
So instead of switching
no,
up,
I have to use the short bow. Never mind.
that's fine.
Let me backtrack.
All she has?
She also has a short sword, but she'd have to use a motion to change it out. And for her, it's the same. It's the same no matter what. So might as well just stick with it.
Right. So I don't really need to jump down then. I will get in a
But
better
you-
position
Okay.
where I can hit him.
So you jump into the front seat of the wagon, where you have a little bit of cover. How's that? So that you're now behind the seat, and you set it up so that you have a proper advantage to shoot from. Now, because let's say you describe that, if you do, then I'll give you advantage when you shoot.
Okay.
So
Okay.
the idea is you describe that in a way that makes it so that it's advantageous for you, and then I can award or advantage or disadvantage depending upon what you describe, and as long as it's realistic,
I think that's an action scene movie.
right?
Right, I'm getting it. I'm getting it.
Yeah, take your time. I mean, hell, we're only an hour and a half in, and you're doing a good job.
Thanks. So do I need to roll for the attack?
So go ahead and describe what you're thinking to do,
Oh, yeah.
and then roll to your d20 to see if you hit. And while you do that, go ahead and roll me your damage so that we can then look at that. So when you describe the scene, I can award you advantage depending upon how it goes, or disadvantage, or maybe nothing.
Okay. So I'm hiding behind the seats, and my crossbow up, and I'm just sitting there. I'm just waiting for the perfect moment because they're fighting. There's a lot of moving around, and Sindario manages to get him on, in defensive mode, so he's not really moving right at that second. So I take that opportunity to let the bolt loose
Cool.
from the bow, and it just shoots right towards the goblin.
Okay. So then I want you to roll a d20 for me, and I'm going to give you an advantage on that.
Okay. I rolled a 20.
Okay. Awesome. I was about to say, Michael, do you want to describe what that really would mean for her?
So on a nat 20, it's a critical hit. So what you do then is any of your damage dice, you roll them twice and add them together. Plus, if you have a static bonus, like let's say you're able to add like your strength bonus or your dexterity bonus, the static number only gets added in once. But any dice, including the d6 from your crossbow, plus your d6 from your sneak attack. So instead of just rolling 2d6, you would roll 4d6 plus whatever your static bonus is for your damage.
And it's 3 for your static bonus.
And you sum all that together. So
One shot it.
Thanks for doing that. That's much better than I could have explained it. But
I feel like Red's about to be the only one, not the only one who needs cleaning up after this.
right.
Right?
So,
That's the person I learned by doing so.
but yeah. So thanks for describing that.
We've got 2 redheads and a guy who calls himself Red.
Oh, we got a whole bunch of reds.
Using it all.
I think we should call this party Red Dead.
We should. It's represented.
So, take your time and add them all up. It's going to be heavy.
Okay. So you're gonna have to tell me when I'm rolling.
Okay. So, first off, your 1d6 for your bow.
All right, that was a 1.
Okay.
Okay.
And then go ahead and roll for your sneak attack, which I believe is a 1d6 as well.
This level.
Okay. 4.
Okay. So you add those two together.
Okay.
Okay. And then roll again both of those.
Both of those at the same time?
No, just a d6 and a d6, yes.
Oh, okay. That was a 2.
Okay.
And a 2. Okay.
Okay, so you add all that together.
Yeah. it's
And then you
9.
add in your +3 piercing because you're using your short bow. So
Okay.
that would be 12 of damage, right?
Mhm.
So describe your actions of what. So you're waiting for the right time. What are you going to aim for?
I'm gonna aim for. This is the same goblin I shot in the head before.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm gonna aim for his back to hopefully shoot him right through the heart.
Okay. So as he's swung at Cindario, as he swung for Cindario, you saw a spot where it was open, and it actually, when you released your arrow, pierced through the side, in through the chest, and out through the heart, ripping its heart out as it exited the goblin.
No, he's heartless.
The goblin is heartless and dead.
Well, that looks like a fatality.
A little bit.
Tiny little bit.
A little bit.
D&D Mortal Kombat.
I'm just curious, what color is Sindario's clothes before the heart erupted out of his chest?
Well, most of her, like her sleeves and her vest were dark in color, but she was wearing a white blouse.
Oh, well.
It's okay.
So you got
Because your roll was so excellent, guess what? The blood spatter passed by and did not get her wet at all.
Nice.
So,
Must be so lucky.
upon that happening, the fourth goblin looks over in terror and sees this happening and starts to back away as to flee. Now, there's one person left. Cindario?
All right, seeing that he's trying to get away and we need someone to question, she's going to attempt to hit him with a ray of frost because that reduces the speed of the target she's going to make her attack roll. Does a 12 hit?
No.
Alright, so it's moving too fast. It's making sure to serpentine, and she aims. You see her hand kind of glow blue with energy, and like an icy lance just like streaks out, but it misses wide and instead freezes a patch of ground just to the right of the goblin as it's juking and jolting.
The goblin is heading towards the northeast. It's going to try and run.
I don't
Ben?
suppose anyone is a good shot from this distance.
Actually,
I have javelins.
I have a longbow.
Ooh.
Yeah.
All right.
Very nice.
So I want both Rhetoric and Richter to try and catch the goblin. To do something. Tell me what you're going to do. At the same time, the goblin's fleeing. You saw your friend, everybody's okay, but your friend went down for a second. You are inspired.
I'm going to have to switch weapons. So I have to take a turn switching weapons.
Good. Okay, so that works out. That actually works out because the goblin's turn is to move, and it moves 30 feet away because that's how far it can move. All right? So, and you're a longbow and javelin, if not mistaken. So the javelin you can throw up to 30 feet or up to 120 feet with disadvantage for Rhetoric. And then the longbow you can shoot up to 150 feet. Yeah. So it uses its move to go 30 feet away as quick as it can. Now, I'm gonna give the opportunity to y'all to try and hit it at a distance. The javelin obviously will. It's here. Hold on, let me map it out. Okay, so because I had to cross the paths where Rhetoric is, it's not outside of your range. It's within that 30 feet. So you can still try it. And it's definitely within the longbows. So, Rhetoric, you're up first. You see the goblins running. It's running towards the north. There's a path or something in the forest. You're not sure what. But all you know, it's heading out and disappearing. What are you going to do?
Well, I'm swapped to my javelin.
Okay. So then,
Take a careful aim.
hold on. So you swap to that. That's your turn. It continues to run. Now it's at 60 feet. So this is going to be with a disadvantage. Okay?
Yeah. But it's the only option I got.
Go for it.
Let loose with the I need a what?
Well, hold on.
roll
I
of
guess
20?
it's technically that. And then Richter, you also changed weapon, I assume, as well during that.
Yes.
Okay, good. So, goblins started running. You both dropped your weapon, picked up a new weapon. You're ready to fire. It's about 60 feet away now. Rhetoric, what you got?
I rolled a 12, but the javelin's at a +5, but I'm also at disadvantage. So what's my disadvantage?
Michael, you could probably explain disadvantage better. Hold on, pause, because he had to go get a charger for his laptop. Meanwhile, Michael, would you mind explaining to them, just in case, what disadvantage does? I can do it, but you're a better linguist.
Disadvantage and advantage are similar. Basically what happens is if a situation is extremely advantageous, the DM will ask you to roll. First off, anytime you're trying to see whether or not you succeed or fail at something, doesn't matter if you're trying to make an attack or target somebody with a spell or resist someone's spell, anytime you're trying to succeed or fail, you always roll a d20 and then you add your relevant bonus to it. So, the only time you roll something other than a d20 is pretty much damage. Now, when you roll with advantage, you get to roll the d20 twice and take the better of the two results. When you roll with disadvantage, you roll the d20 twice and take the worst of the two rolls. Now, there's a situation where you've got both advantage and disadvantage on the same roll, they cancel out. It doesn't matter if you've got advantage from 10 different things and disadvantage from one, they cancel out. So that's how advantage and disadvantage works.
Okay.
Okay. So Richter's back. So Rhetoric.
Okay, I rolled a 12 the first time, and I rolled a nat 20 the second time, so I got to take 12, correct?
Plus your attack bonus. So yes, don't forget to factor that in. Is it 12 with or without?
12 without,
Okay,
so it'd be a 17.
cool. And then roll me what your damage would be if you hit.
A 1d6. I rolled a 3, and it's plus 3, so 6.
Okay, so the goblin's running away. It's heading towards the path. It's sneaky and fast. You pull hard back on the javelin. You take a moment and breathe and release. It flies through the air, a lovely spiral as it twists through the air. It punctures not just through its leg, but through its hip, doing severe damage. It collapses for a second. Good hit.
Lovely, we'll be able to question
But it's
him.
not dead, and it's still gonna try and run.
Yeah, but it will significantly slow it, correct?
So we'll see. We'll see. I'll tell you about that later. But overall, even though I describe it that way, it doesn't necessarily slow its motion or how it can move. But I like to add that in. So, Richter, you're up next. You got the longbow out. What you gonna do?
Well, yep, got my longbow out. I'm going to harness every single concentration and point of focus I can. Hawkeye view. Pull my longbow out, and I'm just going to go right for the legs. I do want to get them non-moving so we can question them as well.
Okay, so you want to get non-moving. Okay.
If it hits and kills, that's fine too.
Yeah, we'll see. Depends on what happens.
Yeah, you can declare any attack pretty much to be not that you're trying to do non-lethal damage. So
Right.
that is the thing.
Which is great. Go for it.
All right. Let's see. Well, you want D20 for...
To see if it hits. Yep.
Yeah. 14.
Okay.
All right.
And does that include your +7 on your longbow, which apparently you have a very high.
Yeah, almost ridiculous.
Damn.
Overpowered a bit. So then that's what,
You need dexterity or something, wouldn't you?
yeah, so that would be 21.
Wow. Okay. Oh, damn.
And then,
Apparently you're really good with your bow. Oh, that's right, because you have your fighting style's archery.
yes.
After this, by the way, we can talk about changing details and minor stuff. But for now, go ahead. So roll your 1d8 plus 3 piercing, and then add in your piercing. Let me know what that would be.
All right, D8. 6 plus 3 piercing, that's 9.
Okay. So you pull back your bow and you take a breath, a very deep, slow breath. In through the nose, out through the mouth. As it comes time, you release your arrow and you let it fly. As it flies, it pierces the other goblin's right thigh rather than the left hip to injure it so they can't run and can't walk. The goblin is not dead. It is on the brink of death because it's been beat so bad by the last attack, but
It's bleeding now.
it's still surviving for the time being. Y'all have subdued the goblin force. Congratulations.
Yeah.
All right. So while the two of them are looking after the goblin, I want to check and make sure Kithry's okay.
That's a good idea.
My dear, you're bleeding all down your side. Are you all right?
My son!
just a moment. Cinderella does have a healing kit on her, so if necessary, she can use that to try and stabilize them. Rules-wise, you only need to prevent somebody to stabilize someone if they're dying, but for RP purposes,
The goblin is currently crawling away just by its fist. Its legs are not moving. What do y'all do?
I chase him down while Sandario patches up Kid 3.
Okay. What else?
All right.
Of course, I'm a dandy, so I'm sitting there dusting myself off.
Well, when I catch up to him, I just yoke him up. I keep him dangled so he doesn't go anywhere.
Yep. He said, let me down, let me down. It hurts. I'm bleeding. I'm dying. Please save me.
Screaming about my sleeve.
Can I question him?
Of course.
Yes.
Would y'all like to question him, or Rhetoric, are you with him?
I will walk towards him, but I'm
So,
preoccupied with
Richter?
dusting myself off.
Fair enough.
Please add another to your inspiration of your character, like +1, which gives you advantage whenever you so choose, basically. So Richter, to Rhetoric. Richter, roll me. Are you trying to persuade the goblin? What are you trying to do? Are you trying to calm it down? Or are you trying to like tell me what's going on? It's over there flying. God, let me down! I'm dying in my legs.
You know, I will try to persuade it. I want to know what it was doing here and who told it to be here. If it gives me my answers, I will patch it up. If not, I'll finish him right here.
Okay, cool. Roll it for it.
Would that be intimidation or diplomacy?
No, that's definitely intimidation. That's 100% intimidation.
Do I have
Yeah, I think so too.
I'm negative 1 intimidation. All right, hold on. My dice fell after
8.
17, so 16.
Okay, so he says, God, I have a leader. His name is Clark. He told us that we have to be here to take people and like steal their stuff and things, and he's a bugbear. He's bigger than I am, and I must do what he says. Oh, please, please don't kill me.
All right. Last question then for the goblin. Where is Clark located?
If you follow this road about 5 miles ahead, there's a camp and stuff, and there's people and not people, but me folk, and please don't kill me, but there's people in a cave and stuff and things. There's less than 20 people that live in the lair. I mean, does that help?
So we got people to save. All right. Well, I will look back and
No, not really people to save. You know, goblins that we hate you people, but whatever. Yeah, save us. Yay.
Well, Sandario, Rhetoric, Kid 3, do you guys have anything to ask this guy?
As I arrive, I've noticed you got the situation well in hand. So I simply ask you, so what options do we have?
So, I have a question as well. What happened to the people who were riding along with these slain horses in the road? I didn't see any bodies.
Please just help me. I don't want to answer questions. I hurt and I'm bleeding. The dwarf and his map were delivered to the King Crow and as instructed, and the dwarf's human companion is being held at the eating cave. Just leave me alone.
What does this dwarf look like? Describe him.
He was very brute and strong and very stoic, and I don't know. I don't care. I just shoot bows from a distance. Leave me alone.
Does his description of him sound familiar at all?
What description?
He was describing the dwarf.
Yes, he was a dwarf. What do you want from me?
No, I'm asking you out of character.
Yeah. So it was Gundren they took.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's what I was about to ask.
It says,
I had a suspicion.
she says, well, shit, here's our meal ticket. It's bad enough getting him out of legal troubles. This is ridiculous. Okay.
He is our good friend. We cannot leave him behind.
Oh yes, what a friend.
Look, I'll tell you one more thing. Just please let me go. Please save me.
Real quick, out of character, what was the cloaked guy's name again? Because he went with him.
Sildar. Hallwinter.
So,
Does the goblin mention that other dude or not?
yeah.
Um,
he does. I was going to ask
Well, I'll
Goblin.
ask the goblin, have you heard, by chance, if
So-
any of them were named?
The goblin believes that you're about to, like, he's gonna die anyways. So I need y'all to roll me for intimidation to see if y'all can maybe intimidate him into telling you more. As at this point he's like, I'm just gonna die, so who gives a shit? So roll me a d20
I have a plus.
for whoever is interrogating.
I wrote a 6.
Well, I'm right there with Sindra.
Yeah. I'm
Sindaria.
not particularly interested. I'm kind of rolling my eyes and fuming. I only got about 5.
I have a 12.
I got a 14 with a plus 2.
Yeah, I got 9 with a plus 3.
So the goblin at this point believes he's just gonna die and is like, I'm not gonna take anything else. I've told you a lot. You can get over it. And basically is like, you're not gonna fix me. You're not gonna heal me. I've asked your questions, and I'm not gonna take anything else because you're not gonna save me.
Okay, well, if that's the case, I would like to throw him as high as I can and just hold my sword up so he can fall right on it.
All right, so that's a strength and dexterity action. So roll me a d20,
I take a long step back.
and then first thing is dexterity.
Yes.
Wait, you said D20? Well, that was 11.
Okay.
Oh, wait, is that with dexterity?
Yeah, so you add your dexterity bonus.
Oh, okay, so then 14.
Okay. And then roll me for your strength as well, and add in your bonus also.
Do another 14.
Okay, so you throw this goblin not quite high enough to like get him parallel, but enough to get him where you can pull out your sword and stab it through him. The goblin dies, and as he falls on the blade, he says, "You will regret not giving me my life. There's more I had to offer."
Well, that seems a bit excessive. But,
The goblin is dead.
Did you have to get such things on my finery again?
I'm sorry, Redder.
you do complain a lot, and Sindara just, she does an incantation almost as if she's like sweeping with her hands. And you notice all the blood stains just sort of lift off of Roderick's clothes, and she just kind of swirls it and throws it away. She says,
Oh, that's most delightful.
so much complaining over such a little thing. You have been in combat before, haven't you?
Yes, but I dearly hate getting dirty. It's detestable.
Well,
But unfortunately, it is necessary.
Well, all the goblins are dead. Congratulations. Y'all have done a wonderful job.
perhaps we should get them out of the roadway so we don't attract wolves or vultures.
Yes, that's the next step. We need to move them out of our way. Of course, those horses are still there too. That started this whole trap.
Yeah.
So while they're getting the goblins out of the road, Sin is going to ritually cast detect magic to see if there's anything on the horses or maybe any sort of like magical trail that we might follow or anything like that, just to kind of case the joint.
And I would like to pick the goblin's pocket.
Okay. So the dead goblins.
Yes.
All right. So what about Kitri and Rhetoric?
If I must, I shall help you to see what we have.
I'm just
What is your hit points like?
I only have 5 out of 9 hit points now.
That's not that bad. That's over 50%. Not that I'm, but I mean, you know, not bad.
Right.
Any of you are a healer by any chance, are you?
So, everyone that chose to search a goblin, I want you to roll 1d8 to see how many copper pieces you picked up.
2.
So you got 2. You got 2. So both of y'all also found a gold tooth, which has a very interesting sign on it. It's a stamp in the shape of like a black widow spider, and you recognize it as well. Actually, you know what? Roll me for wisdom or insight.
Insights. Do you have +1? Is that a D20?
Yes.
19.
Let's see.
I rolled a 18 with a +1.
I'm gonna deafen the others. Okay, so I'll deafen the others really quickly. Or I think I did. So y'all notice that this is the black spider symbol. That there's something important about it. That it has some kind of significance of a cult or a group or in general. But the black spider is important. I'm now undeafening the rest. Well, Michael heard, but whatever. Anyway, so, and that is worth 1 gold piece.
Okay. I had a
Make sure to add that on your sheets.
I think it counts. Stole my pen. Yeah, hold on. Wait.
And just a side note, for me, I just realized when I was doing my introduction, I was looking at the wrong sheet because I had the wrong thing up. So I messed up my whole story already.
Well,
Oh no.
we'll give you an option in here in a second, and we'll fix it.
Awesome. Thank you.
Are you blonde rather
Give
than
me
a redhead?
10 seconds to come up with a good way to do it.
Blonde. Oh, God.
Oh, okay. I'm going to deafen everybody, and I'm talking to you direct.
Oh no. I'm a bio.
So, Richter, I'll call you back in a second. Just hang on, I'm deafening you.
Okay.
All right. So, here's what we're going to do. So, you are, I assume you're going to take a short-term rest or a long-term rest at some point to heal your recovery. When you do, that's the time to say, you know, hey, look, I wasn't being honest with y'all. Here's who I truly am, and deliver yourself.
Okay.
And so that'll be perfect because we can do it soon, pretty much. We're going to do a good stopping point before too long. And when we go to a short rest, you can say, as you are, you know, relaxing, falling asleep, or doing whatever, you can go ahead and be like, okay, guys, I wasn't honest. Here's who I truly am, kind of thing. I just wanted to protect myself because of the Bread Brand's interaction or whatever else.
Right. Okay.
So I'm going to undeafen everybody, but that'll work well.
Okay. Perfect. Thanks.
Okay. Everybody should be back to normal.
All right.
Seems to be.
Really quick, when I rolled the 2, did you say that was copper or gold?
Let me confirm. Copper.
Copper.
Yeah, you're not rich. Don't worry about it.
All right, 2 copper pieces. And then the gold tooth.
Which is worth 1 gold each.
Okay.
So, while we wait for Cindario,
Cindario.
God, you got to spell it differently. Cindario. While we wait for Cindario, y'all talk about what you want to do next. Okay?
Well, guys, I'm pretty sure we're going to have to go to that cave and see about Gundren and
I don't think we have any choice.
yeah, I mean he's our good man. We gotta go get him.
So, Cindario,
Well,
I told everybody to talk about what they want to do. So, y'all discuss what do you want to do now. The goblins are dead. Y'all are looting the victims, or goblins, whatever you want to call them. Y'all have moved the horses. Are y'all going to continue on to Phandelver, or are you going to go over to follow the path that the goblin was trying to escape on? So, y'all talk about it.
Well, I suppose we don't get a payday if Gendrin's been turned into goblin stew.
Absolutely.
It would be a great way for me to pay him my life debt I owe him too, so.
The situation does pose a problem. What do we do with the wagon of goods? Can't just leave it on the road.
Well, I suppose if we come trundling up to a goblin cave with a big wagon in tow, we're apt to draw a lot of unwanted attention. Do any of you have some idea of how far we are from Phandalin?
No idea, but I do know the goblin said that the cave is only just a few miles up the road.
So the cave is 5 miles to the north. The town is about a half a day's ride. You can hide the oxen and wagon load without much issue at all. It's, there's been a lot of bandits in the area, a lot of people stealing and the goblins and stuff. So there's not much foot traffic. It's not hard to hide it. So much so you won't even need to roll for it. You just need to say, hey, look, we're going to hide this here. And of course, you can continue on and deliver the goods, or you can continue up that, or you can go back and do other things. You can do whatever you want to.
So if it's a half a day, to town, that means it would be an entire day before we're back here in a position where we could potentially help him, and that's if we don't get any shut eye or anything, by which point we're going to be pretty well exhausted. So I feel like if we're intending to save our stocky friend, then we're probably going to need to do it sooner rather than later. That's my feeling.
I said we hide the
Agreed.
wagon and search for him as soon as we can.
The longer we wait, the worse it gets.
I am inclined to agree. As
For all we know,
much
it's
as I
already
don't
too
favor
late. Let's
fighting
go. I
I don't
goblins
see
in
another
real life.
path.
And we have
All
chosen.
right.
We go save our compadre.
So what have y'all decided?
It sounds like we're going to rescue Gendrin.
Okay, so y'all follow the path
Hide the wagon, of course.
in a way.
Yeah, we're hiding a wagon.
Okay, hide the wagon.
We're going to track him down.
And then head after the path
No
that.
choice. The nobility must defend the lower classes.
Okay. Well, how do y'all want to go down this trail? It's rather narrow. You can go about 2 wide if at best, but in general, it's probably 1 ahead of the other. Remember, this is a goblin trail. Goblins are small, and so how do you want to head down the trail after this?
I'm thinking staggered.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Like 2 and 2 offset, so that it's 1 at a time, but as wide as the trail.
so who among us
2 to the left of the trail, 2 to the right.
Who among us is good at spotting a trap or a snare? Because I'd rather be behind such a person rather than in front of them.
I think y'all are all pretty good at this.
It should be our rogue.
What would that be? Perception? No, that's neurology.
Your perception and investigation.
Yeah, my investigation is 3. Perception is 2. Oh, and I have passive in perception and passive in
My
investigation.
investigation is 0. I should not lead.
No, you should not.
I will
My
take the rear.
investigation is 0 as well.
What about
But my
perception?
perception is a +3.
Okay, my perception is
perception is
+3 as
+3.
well.
My perception also is a +3.
Okay, so we could pretty much be in any order then, I guess. Now, it's easier for us to see over someone who's shorter than us,
I mean, it's not a very dense forest, so you'll have plenty of room to see around in general. But yes, that is true.
Yeah. I'm thinking have someone tanky at each end and then squishier people towards the middle.
It's probably good.
So,
So,
Especially since I'm injured, I would need to be.
That would put me and Richter at the front and the rear.
yeah,
Am I correct?
Richter seems like he's got further reach with the bow, so I'm not sure if we want him up front or in the rear.
Well, neither he nor I have a good investigation.
Yeah, we
Both have a +3 perception.
Yeah, I'm great at investigation. I've got a +5 in investigation, and +3 in perception. So,
So you probably need to be at the front in case of any traps.
yeah.
all right, let the wizard go first. I see how it is. All right, well, follow me then, I suppose.
all right, wizard going first. Okay, so we got the wizard.
Most unconventional.
Yes, get over it. Who's next? Or well, and are you going to be on the left side or right side?
Well, that depends on which side that Sindaro has taken.
I've
Front
taken
left
the
or front
right
right?
side.
Well, front right or front left? Because if we're going to stagger, you'll be to the left side or the right side of the trail.
You're left-handed, so I'll keep to the front right.
Okay, and then I'll take the second left.
All right.
And that would put Kid 3 third, and then Richter watching the back 40 as we walk, correct?
Yep. Okay, cool. So y'all head off. No big deal. The path is narrow and fine, but not exorbitantly difficult to follow. As y'all continue along, after about 10 minutes, all of a sudden, Sandario?
Sandario.
Sandario.
We're giving it 5 sessions, I think we said.
Yeah, 4 or 5 sessions.
Come on, Sindar.
You notice that there's a disturbance on the path. There looks to be some kind of disturbance with the leaves. Like they aren't normal patterned. With your elvish story and backstory, you know that these are not naturally forming in this area. There must be a trap.
She says, "I know this is cliche and everything, a bunch of round ears following a knife here, but I see something amiss in the past, and she's going to use her prestidigitation or her mage hand, either one, they're both cantrips, but she's going to use those to try and blow away or move away the leaves to see if she can uncover exactly what she's seeing, so we can get a better look at it."
Awesome.
So she sees, and you'll all see that there's a snare hidden underneath the leaves. And that would have easily taken out someone. If you look up into the trees, you can see where it's hooked around, and there's a large stone over there just waiting as a counterbalance to rip someone off the ground.
No, that's not good. All right. She is going to give her mage hand her dagger just to cut away at the rope until it's able to be triggered safely and disarmed.
Excellent. So as it saws away at it, you can see that the heavy weight moves little by little, stretching the fine fibers of the rope, eventually snapping. Moves away. Luckily, no one was injured, and the area seems to be cleared.
All right. She's going to proceed and just keep her short sword in hand just in case she needs something handy in case we get jumped. And she resheathes her dagger.
So while y'all walk along, this is a fairly long journey. So I would recommend maybe y'all taking time to talk about life things, motivations, abilities. If you want to share with your group, as this is the first time you're together, of how you work best. You got about 5 miles to go. Not after that, you got about 4 miles left. So you still got a ways to go. I would recommend taking a few minutes to have some conversation. Obviously, you're journeying.
That makes sense.
I guess I can tell you guys a bit of my background while we make our way. What some of you don't know, my parents lived in a prosperous village called Thunder Tree, east of the city of Neverwinter. And at the edge of Neverwinter Wood was where the village lie. But when nearby Mount Hottennow erupted 30 years ago, my parents fled, carrying me in my infancy. My family drifted from village to village around the region, finding work as servants and laborers where they could. It's hard to find work once you leave your hometown. I spent the last few years in Neverwinter as a porter and as a laborer at the city's bustling docks. But it's clear to me and everyone around me that I'm destined for more, and this is why I kind of put down the labor life to seek adventure. I stood up an abrasive ship captain once. Other dock workers look up to me. They now know me. I'm the go-to guy. If they have a problem, I will solve any injustice to my fellow man. I can't let them go. But my personal goal is to restore my village of Thunder Tree because while my family left, soon after the village was attacked by a dragon. It burned the village down to barely nothing. Ruins, haunted by ash and zombies roaming now. And it is now my dream to kill this dragon, rid the village of zombies infested ash, and get my village back to prosperity where it once was.
Goodness, a volcano and then a dragon. You've had some terrible luck in your day, mostly with fire.
It's been a thrilling life, I can say for that sure. What about you, Sidario? Why are you on this quest?
Oh well, as I'm not sure if it's entirely evident given my shoddy aim of late, but I did attend the ladies' college in Silvery Moon, studying the arcane arts before my tuition ran out, I suppose you might say. So I traveled to Neverwinter to see if I could at least find work as a scribe or a librarian. I ended up doing legal work for the Lord's Alliance in the record halls, and it was paying the bills. I had a comfortable enough apartment in a nicer area of town, not the Lake District, mind you, but you know. That was when our dear friend Gendrin, who seemed to be a man of some worth, had sort of requested I perform some, favors for him, some record retrievals that, at first blush seemed innocent enough, but sort of led to me getting fired and blacklisted from the Scribes Guild. So I've rather gotten tired of waiting tables in the meanwhile, and felt that perhaps a change of scenery was in order. And well, that's why I'm in your company now.
Given your time so close to Neverwinter, I'm surprised we haven't crossed paths before.
Well, I haven't seen you in the tavern before, so that might have something to do with it.
Not much of a drinker.
There's plenty who are. I won't fault you for it. Anyway, what about you, Kithri? Red?
My story is not grand. Born and raised in the nobility, I was quite a troubled youth. Always getting in a scuffle. Grew up the black sheep, but still close to the family, trying to maintain our nobility and maintain our reputation. But my uncle, who was managing the fortune, has destroyed it with his gambling habits. And now I'm forced to work as a ruffian and fighter. I had no real skills. I was a nobility. I mean, what skills were we supposed to have? We were rich. And now I have to fight and scuffle and make every penny count to try and rebuild the family. And it's disgusting, dirty work, but it is what I have to do.
These are dark days indeed. Too many families torn apart.
Well, I normally would never approach such a dirty tavern, but I needed to meet with y'all for Gudrun. He's worked with the family many a time. He was a good man, and it was 10 gold, so I cannot complain.
That's a good bottle of wine in some parts.
Yes, it's like I said, much better than nothing. As long as I have my great axe, I'll be good. It's been in the family for years, and it's quite precious. And it has obviously paid for itself. It is quite the lethal weapon.
Indeed.
Yeah, I've seen firsthand witness.
As I said, I was quite the rascal in my youth and fought a lot, so it is the one thing I do well. Always try to land on my feet.
Speaking of landing on one's feet, there was some interesting acrobatics earlier, Kithri.
Well, I have to be honest with you guys here. Earlier, I told you I was from somewhere that I'm not really from. I am actually a former thief. I came from the Gilded Gallows. I didn't know my parents, so I was just orphaned there. And that's the only thing I've ever known is just a life of thievery. And I hope to become rich in the city of Neverwinter, but it didn't work out. I heard a story from a smuggler about a high-ranking member of the Gallows who turned traitor, killed a partner, and fled. So thanks to that, I'm up here trying to find any more information on that because I want that treasure that he had. I don't think it's a rumor like everyone else says, but I just kept that from y'all because I'm a thief and I didn't know if y'all would trust me or not. But I try to put that life behind me, and so that's why I'm here.
Conniving wench. Not sure if I trust you yet.
Well, I guess time will tell.
Well, I certainly trust your aim.
So it sounds like your party's getting more acquainted. As you go along, I recommend that y'all take time to figure out a party name for yourself and what you'd like to be called. In the meantime, you continue on the path. You can see that it is treacherous. It is well traveled, surprisingly. Someone give me a perception check.
Sindariel is first.
I'm distracted by something that just got caught in my hair, so that's an 8.
All right.
Oh boy. I'm next in line. I rolled 11.
You have a bonus to that?
I'm trying to figure out if I have.
Let's see.
Yes, perception plus 3.
Yeah.
Yes, it was a plus 3. So it would be 14.
What's the other two party members got?
Well, I'm distracted as well. I'm daydreaming about the day I can finally slay the dragon and restore my village because I rolled a 4 altogether.
Kitri?
And I'm super laser focused because I have the +2 perception, and I rolled an 18.
Okay.
Nice.
So you'll notice that this trail is very well traveled. Probably a dozen or so goblins seems to be traveling through here at all times. It's very well laid in, but there's no spots for ambushes. You also notice that the the coming and going is very infrequent. It's not like it's a very repetitious thing, as if it kind of fits with the theme of the fact that this road is not well traveled, but you can follow it nonetheless. So you continue to follow it. You still have about 2 miles left to go before you reach the end. Do y'all continue on as so?
We probably should.
I was gonna say,
So it might not be a bad idea to before we get there to at least take a short rest so that we can patch up our wounds and approach this at our full vim and
Full
vigor.
strength.
I was going to suggest.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I would not recommend resting on the middle of a cliff side, but you can if you want to.
There's a cliff.
Yes, as you walk along, remember this is a dangerous and treacherous road, and as you continue on, you see that there are areas where you can fall off and not. There looks to be a clearing about 2 miles ahead where you might be able to take good shelter.
Okay.
The recommendation would be to continue on and finish it out.
Yeah, I feel like we took so long during cleaning all the horses that we might have been able to take at least a short rest during that time while we were figuring out what we wanted to do. So a short rest is actually a technical term. You can spend these things called hit dice even without a cleric to heal us. We can still spend hit dice to regain lost hit points. And that can only be done during a short rest, which is about an hour in length. So, if Kithri was sitting it out while everybody else was doing the heavy lifting, that might have given her a chance to get some of those lost hit points back, at least.
Stuff to definitely keep in mind for later on. It'd been great suggestion back then for sure. As you're on the path, and unless y'all want to stop on the path, I would recommend going to there's a clearing at least.
What time of day is it?
It's late, or it's getting late. It's about 4 in the afternoon, and it's winter time, so the sun will set in about an hour or two. You have enough time to finish out the trail before sunset.
Oh, so there's no leaves on the trees, or is it coniferous?
I don't know what you mean by carnivorous.
Like pine trees, like evergreens.
Evergreens.
A little bit of both. More leaves than not. As far as there are some pine trees, but most of it is leaves that will fall. That's why the leaves cover the ground, and you have to be careful where you step.
Okay.
So.
I feel like if we want to take a breather, we should probably get off this trail so we're not as easily spotted. And I'm
Sindriel,
pretty good at
as
seeing in the dark.
you're in the front, I need you to roll me a d20.
Well, I might also have to wrap it up.
Net 20.
Okay, so you see right in front of you there's a pit. You better stop. It's 6 feet wide and 10 feet deep. If you're not paying attention, you will fall into this pit. It's a trap. You can easily walk around it and you can climb your way out if you fell into it, but it would have hurt if you fell into it.
All right, let's take a sidestep around this, my dears.
And y'all can continue on, and then shortly thereafter, y'all are now at a clearing. You can see in front of you there is a mountain. There's a clear void inside the mountain where there's a stream running out of it. On the right-hand side, which is your eastern side, there is a thicket full of just briars and heavy, dense material. On the western side is where you currently stand, currently shrouded by shrubs and bushes and all of those things in general. But there are no enemies. You seem to be safe. But inside, there seems to be something of peril, or at least that's your feeling.
So the goblins, try and keep our voices lower. So the goblins mentioned something about living in a cave in this area. That creek is running out from the base of that mountain. I don't suppose that's the cave we think we were talking about, do you think?
It seems so, but regardless, we should investigate.
to add detail,
Most likely it.
you followed the goblin's trail. You came across a large cave in a hillside 5 miles from the scene of the ambush. A shallow stream follows out of the cave of the mouth, which is seen by screened by a dense briar thickets. A narrow, dry path leads into the cave on the right-hand side of the stream.
Well, this definitely fits the bill. I would think there would be some guards posted. How are the rest of you doing in terms of actually being able to see what's around here now that it's dusk?
Yeah, it's getting dusk, so it's getting dark out. Now is a good time to kind of make camp if you also choose. And make sure your surroundings are okay, at least from where you are.
I'm personally apprehensive about camping right on someone's doorstep if this is indeed where they live. Do we look around for guards and try and take them out, or do we back off and?
I do want to point out I have like +5 deception. I don't know if we could do something with that.
Maybe.
I also have +7 stealth.
If
Wow.
you're that stealthy, you could possibly reconnoiter the area.
Stupid R-powered.
He says, I do have a trick if you need. Just a moment. And let's see here. So Cinderella is going to, she's just going to find like a pebble or something, or like a smooth rock from in the stream and take it out. And with her cloak sort of shielding it, she's going to cast a light spell on the rock, and then like fold it in a piece of cloth, and then hand that to K3. She says, "Here, if you need to be able to see better, you can use this as a torch that won't produce any flame, or if you need to like signal us for a traitor to potentially throw it. It should burn for about an hour."
About an hour, okay. So I need to go. So we're like in a real quick, like in a clearing, right?
I'll show you.
The mountain.
Hold on. So, the party's here.
Okay.
There's a giant mountain here. You can see a river that's kind of flowing out. It's not deep. It's maybe 2 or 3 feet deep, and it's moving very slowly. And there's briar thickets kind of all around the edges. But y'all are here. You can see that there is a slight entrance into this area on your right-hand side.
Okay. So basically, we need to try to find somewhere either safe to have a short rest, or we need to try to find if there's any like traps or anything, because there is no guards, so that's kind of concerning.
Y'all haven't checked to see if there's any guards.
Oh, someone had mentioned, I forget who, but there wasn't any guards. I think he's putting Cal to bed. So, K3, she's going to use her stealth to sneak around and kind of survey the area and see if there's somewhere safer we can go.
Okay, cool. That's a great idea. All right, roll for me because you got a +7 in your stealth, right? Let's see how stealthy you are.
Okay. That's D20, right?
Yes.
So I got 12 plus 7, so it's 19.
Okay. So as you sneak around, you I assume are looking for everything: people, traps, your kind of stuff. So I need you to roll me perception as well.
Okay. 16.
Okay. So you notice that on the right-hand side, not too far away from the entrance, that little area that was clear.
Mm-hmm.
I'll wait till Richard's back since he's here. All right, so she's searching around right now to see if she can find what's going on. She's using her stealth, it's very high, and her perception is very high as well. So she looks around. As she looks around, she sees that there's a bunch of thickets that are obscuring an area that's possible for ambush or for guards to sit in general. As she walks along and walks up near the river towards the entrance, doing her best to be stealthy, she did notice that there are two guards over to the right, her eastern side, y'all's eastern flank, that are hidden away, but they're not paying attention. They're kind of just goblins that are not giving a crap about life or anything else and just hanging out. As goblins are, they're lazy creatures in general. So she's noticing that they're there. She hasn't seen any of their traps. There is nothing else in the open meadow that is of significance other than the fact that the river's there and it's about 2 to 3 feet deep and it's moving rather slowly, which doesn't really make much sense, but it is what it is. So she sees those people and I assume returns back to her group to report it.
Right, so there are some guards over there hidden. You can't see them from here, but they're over there. So we gotta be careful, but that's really all there is over here. There's like a guard post over there that's behind them thickets. So we should probably try to figure out what we're gonna do about them guards.
Okay.
How far away are the guards?
From y'all currently, if you, how do I describe this? About 60 feet away.
Okay.
If we can dispatch them quickly, enough, we might not alert the others, but they could also summon backup.
I was going to say my longbow goes up to 150. It can definitely.
I was about to suggest Richter
Wow.
and I possibly attack. I'll aim for one with the javelin, and Richter aim for the other with his longbow.
I can reach up to about 60 feet with a ray of frost as well.
Okay.
So if the two of you want to lead off, I'll wait, and if one of them looks like they're going to get away, I'll try to slow them down.
I think that's a good plan. What do you think, Richter?
I'm all for it.
All right, roll me for initiative. Let's see who goes first.
And Kithri, you've got a bow as well, right?
I do. I have a short bow, and I can get up to 80 feet with that.
So you're within range as well.
Yeah. So since they don't detect us,
Yeah, y'all been quiet.
with them it would be a sneak attack. So you'd almost certainly assassinate. You'd almost certainly assassinate if you were able to let you lead off.
All right, tell me y'all's rolls.
22.
Is there any?
You rolled the d20 and add your dexterity modifier.
Dexterity? Okay.
Thank you.
So then a 10 for me.
Okay.
You said dexterity?
Modifier, yes.
Modifier.
Yeah, plus your dexterity, whatever you roll.
It's 12.
I rolled an 11.
Okay. So, Sindrio. God damn it. You get the first attack.
Yeah, so I'm like I said, I'm readying an attack so that if a goblin ends up surviving,
Okay, perfect.
someone else's attack and flees, then I'm going to target them and try and bring them down.
Excellent.
Right.
So like I said, my admonition is that we let our rogue try and outright assassinate one of these guys first before any of the rest of us does anything.
Excellent. Well, our rogue's up next. What you got?
So I go in my stealth. But she goes into her stealth mode. Is that loud, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I can't see it. And I let loose a silent shot with my short bow
Excellent.
at the attempt to assassinate him
Okay.
silently without them even knowing.
Awesome. Well, roll for me. Give me a
Does she get
d20.
advantage on that since she's not detected?
Yes, she does. Good catch.
And I'm on D20?
Yes,
Yep.
and you do get advantage on it
Sweet.
because you are hidden and stealthy and awesome.
Okay. So you might have to remind me again how I do the advantage.
Roll the d20 twice and take whichever one's higher.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, the first one. Oh, okay, so the first one was 1, the second one was 12.
Okay, so you keep it 12.
Now, don't forget to add in your attack bonus because of your short bow. So that's a 17.
17, okay.
Okay, so you roll a 17, and then go ahead while y'all do this. It's kind of easier to go ahead and roll your damage just in case. So roll your 1d6.
All of us?
No, just her.
6.
And
Did
your
you roll a
sneak attack
6?
dice is also a d6.
I'm sorry?
Your sneak attack dice too. I
Okay.
think it should also be a d6.
Okay.
It is.
So 1, 6, and then a 3.
So make sure that whenever y'all get free time, go and read that spell block in the middle that says attack, or not a spell block, the section block that says attacks and spell casting, and it will, help you figure that out. So, so that you know what sneak attack does. But yes, it adds it to it. So you had 6 the first time, and then what the second time?
3.
3. And then you got +3 piercing.
Yeah.
So
That's 12.
tell me what you want to do with your bow. How are you going to handle this?
So when I let loose the arrow towards the goblin to try to assassinate him, I want to try to get cleanly through his eye and just out the back of his head, and he falls into the brush silently, so they won't even hear him, into the dark.
So when you release your arrow, it flies true, right through the goblin's right eye. The arrow pierces the eye, the cranium, the skull, all of it, and comes out the back with the feather tips still sticking out of the eye, the arrowhead out of the base of the skull. You killed the first goblin. As he falls, he makes no extra sound other than that of his death. You've killed the first goblin. Rhetoric, it is your turn.
So
What do you
the
have?
second goblin didn't react at all to that?
Not yet.
Okay, great.
It was
Is it
so
Richter or me?
high. Richter. Sorry, no, Rhetoric. Rhetoric.
It's javelin time.
That's right. Got my javelin. Oh, good. I rolled an 18. And then I have a +5 attack bonus. That's what, 23?
Yep. All right, so roll me your damage and tell me what you're going to do with your javelin.
Let's see, 1d6. My attempt is to hit him square in the chest. I want to let loose and go right through him. I want to stop him without being able to breathe or speak a word of warning. So through the chest, so the lungs are deflated and he can't even let out a last yell.
Excellent.
I rolled a 5 with a +3 for piercing, so it's what, 8?
So as you take your javelin and you let it loose, the goblin in that meantime had noticed that its friend had fallen and moved over to see what happened. During that, the javelin went right past the goblin.
The 23 missed? Damn.
No, what? What?
You said a 23 missed?
It wasn't
Yeah,
23.
I rolled an 18, and then I had a +5 attack bonus.
I thought it was a 5 for attack.
No.
Or for hit.
No,
Well, shit, never mind then. 23 nailed it.
With a +5.
Okay. Then you broke up during that part. My bad. Because all I heard was 5, and I was like, oh. Well, you lost on 5. Then excellent. And how much was the damage?
23.
It was
No, damage is not 23. There's no way it's 23 damage.
I think you said 8.
plus 3.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Then that's easy. So you were back here javelin, and you just launched the son of a bitch right into the guy's chest. It just pierced it as he looked at his friend. He couldn't even let out a yelp. Dude is dead as he falls on his back and is pierced by your javelin. You killed the other goblin instantly.
Delightful.
Congratulations. Holy shit. You are brutal.
Oh, damn.
Now I need to remember to grab my javelin because the last time I forgot, so I'm down to 2 javelins now.
Oh, no.
Right? So,
Terribly forgetful.
y'all have cleared out the enemies outside the cave. I want everybody to roll me a perception check.
Jesus, 4.
Okay, well, you don't know shit, so I'm gonna mute your ass.
21.
21.
Oh, wait, hang on, we have to add on.
Couldn't hear you. Get 3.
19.
Oh, I'm, never mind,
Get 3 can't hear you.
I'm 21.
I can hear you.
Yeah, because I muted your butt. You be quiet.
Be quiet.
Richter, sorry. All right. What does everybody else have?
I have 19.
I have a 21.
21.
Seriously? Oh, y'all? Okay. So, y'all feel like you're totally safe.
Tonight.
You know that the paths that are walked are not commonly used. You know that everything's going to be okay, that you can camp out here and recover your strength and heal, that there are very few footprints that show that this is widely used. It's only when those missions are sent out. It's best to maybe potentially hide somewhere, but in general, you are going to be safe. Y'all's perception of the area is almost infallible that everything's fine in those areas. Welcome back, Richter.
I should probably keep somebody on guard.
I don't think it should be Richter because he can't see nothing.
Apparently not.
I don't mind taking the first. I don't mind taking the first watch. We elves don't really need a lot of sleep. But
I would say it's a good time for everybody to take some rest, and we'll call it a night.
okay.
That sounds good.
Good plan.
So I'll take first watch and then I'll just meditate for the rest of the watch.
Who wants to take second watch?
I can take second watch.
How long is watch?
I'm still at full health.
A few hours, about 2 hours, 3 hours.
I'm an early riser, so I can take the.
Okay.
So does that mean, I assume that means that y'all are taking short rest rather than long rest?
Well, I mean, if we're taking,
Well,
I don't-
it's,
we could do either. I don't think any of us have spent any.
only,
spell or anything.
no, did you not spend a spell? Or were those all cantrips?
I cast mage armor. Everything else I used was a cantrip.
Okay,
So I mean,
I would-
It'd be great for me to get my mage armor back, but
it'd be worth it. But either way, y'all can figure out that, what you want to do. I do know that, Kirti wants to take a full long rest to recover everything.
yeah, that's not a bad idea. We could do that, and then by morning, I don't think goblins are real early birds. So
They're not.
We might have some catch some of them snoozing when we if we get up early.
Nice.
So,
Well, I am
so it sounds like
Sindaro, an early riser.
yeah. So it sounds like Sindaro then or Richter then Roderick for the 3 watches,
Okay.
and we let our poisoned assassin
Recover.
get all the sleep he deserves.
Excellent.
Absolutely. Let
Well, that
her
sounds good.
recover. As a nobleman, I must watch out for the lower classes. It's my duty.
I'm supposed to, every time I take a shot, I'm supposed to take arrows away, aren't I?
Yes.
Are we tracking common ammo or not?
Don't worry about it right now, but going forward, let's do that. As yes, we are supposed to keep track of it and make sure that if you spin an arrow, you go get it. Depending on how it damages somebody, obviously it may not be usable. But in general, if you use it, you go get it. If you don't go get it, you lose it. But again, this is a learning experience. The whole thing is set up to learn as we go along. So do not stress about these finer details. It's not a big deal. We will work them out as we go along. So for now, don't worry about it. I will say that everyone did a great job today. Everybody defeated the enemy, and they all get 75 experience points. So please add that to your character.
75, you said?
75. And make sure to note it on your card. And as we go through, y'all will get more experience, and you can level up, obviously. But in general, everyone did awesome. You did great. I think everyone's character did excellent. Now they can rest, get some relaxation, and then obviously in the chat or whatever, we can figure out when we're going to meet next, whether that's Sunday or Tuesday or both. It's up to y'all.
Okay.
Well, I'm retired. I can do either.
Yeah.
I'm off at 3 every day, so I do too.
I'm good for Sunday. And
Well,
Tuesday.
let's plan for Sunday, and we'll start there. And then during Sunday session, we will determine if we can, and we'll do Tuesday as well. How does that sound?
Sounds good.
Good works.
Cool. Other than that, I think everybody did a great job. If you wouldn't mind, at some point in your chat, please, if you haven't already, send me the name of your character and a small description of what you think they look like and what you want them to look like. It doesn't have to have a picture. Obviously, I've seen some of y'all have it already, but that way I can help visualize it for myself.
We can just put that in our DM to our DM channel, I guess.
Yes, please. Just DM to, or Michael to DM, Richard DM, Ben to DM, Kaylee, whoever. Other than that, hopefully everyone had a good time. If you have any thoughts, suggestions, ideas of what you'd like to change or do, throw it in the chat. We'll talk about it.
Sounds good.
Now, everybody, get some rest. Y'all fought hard today. I think it's time that you did. You really did. I think all of y'all deserve a good rest. So enjoy. Get some rest, guys. Good night, everybody.
Bye.
GG.